just our work environment and looking for jobs out here in society and being a black man. And I wanted just to start off by talking, introducing Horace, but I wanted to give y'all a quick presentation and go over some things about why this topic is extremely important as you guys move through with your education. So, can y'all see the screen, right? Or no? Everybody see the screen? Okay. So, the first thing I really wanted to do is just give y'all this gentleman so y'all know who he is, right? Yes, no?
No.
All right. Some of them, I'm hearing crickets. Like some of them don't know. But this is Nas, and one thing Nas had said. One thing Nas had said was that. Hold on one second. It says, "Hello, yeah, yeah." So everyone can. So one thing he said. Hold on one second. It's saying allow. Okay. Keep asking me. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. So Nas, he had said that. Hold on here. It's been dry. I can hear some people, but there we go. All right. So he had said, and this is what I'm doing to here today, is to teach brothers how to build and have a discussion because all you need is a skill to make $1 million or more. And it's really nowadays it's grind time. And I want to show y'all and share with y'all why this topic is extremely important and for how, it says so. The title of this was say, do you know anybody where I can get a job? But something happened this past Sunday, and I want to start from there. So, what happened this past Sunday? I can't hear anybody. Somebody.
The Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. Okay. Now, what do you normally do when you at the Super Bowl or watching the Super Bowl?
Eat, I guess, and watch the game.
Eat what?
What are they serving? Hot dogs, popcorn, stuff like that.
Okay, what else? Thanks for
Bet.
answering. Huh?
Well, you
Said you
oh,
bet.
I didn't hear you.
You bet.
You bet? Okay, what else? Well, what do you eat? You're talking about food at the Super Bowl. When you watch the Super Bowl, normally what's the tradition? Y'all not old enough. A few of y'all are get deals.
Wings,
Yeah, all right. There we go. What kind of wings usually?
buffalo wings, I guess. Or
Okay. There we go. There we go. So let me go to some reading. That's right. So we just saw the Super Bowl. We just saw buffalo wings. Now, did you see this gentleman here in the picture at the end? Have y'all heard of John Young, the King of Wings?
no, I haven't.
Well, we all go to these Buffalo Wild Wings. You can go to all these places and you get Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Majority of the time. Well, he is the creator of that. This is African American History Month, and it's a tradition that you guys are already admitting somewhat that you do that has a black man behind it. But we never hear about this gentleman. Now, maybe it's me because I had the luxury of going to college and being from New York, upstate New York, had a girlfriend from Buffalo and all that stuff. So I learned the history. So this is why I'm sharing it to you. So all these years we've been hearing, I'm gonna give me some buffalo wings, I'm gonna eat some wings. The man who created it was a black man. Now, if you go Google it, it will tell you that somebody did what? Would they identify as a black man who created it? I'm hearing crickets. I don't hear nobody. Yes, no, maybe so.
What was the question?
I said,
Well,
have you ever heard or did somebody buffalo wings? Have you ever heard anybody saying that a black man invented buffalo wings, or if you think who you think the inventor was, or on record, the supposedly inventor of buffalo wings on record? What would you think they are? Ethnicity wise.
Native American.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I see the reasoning behind that one. I definitely see the reason behind that. But if you go Google it or look it up, it will originally tell you it was
It
a
said
hey,
what?
man.
It said like somebody like Teresa. I don't know her name. Is that
Yeah.
how you say it? Teresa something?
Yes, it's an Italian person, her and her husband.
Oh
But
yeah,
they actually stole this from John King. John King is the originator of putting the sauce on the wings, and he didn't have these small wings. Originally, it was big half wings. Okay, and so he created that. So one thing I want to say, because he did not know, he had multiple businesses, but things wasn't trademarked, so on and so forth. Lost that on history somewhat. Okay, it only takes real scholars and people who are interested in to dig up and find this information. Because again, if y'all were at the last meeting, the lies are buried in the library. So I just wanted to share that from the very beginning because we have a tradition going on and nobody knows how Black people are involved. It's rarely told. So everybody goes home, they either watch the Super Bowl, get some wings, put some sauce on it. Okay? So that's lesson number one. Number two, I want to ask y'all, what is the most popular major for African Americans in this country? Anybody have an idea?
Business? I don't know.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Give me two. I need three answers. You see which one is the right. And this is for African Americans, male and female.
business.
So
Or did somebody say that?
somebody said that already.
I gotta know one. Sports
Somebody.
management? Something sports related?
Sports management. Okay, what else?
Finance.
Finance, but that's all business.
I did.
So, if somebody else got
Psychology.
another answer? Psychology. I
that
thought about that one too. But no, the answer correct, it was business. I just had to throw y'all off already. Too easy, right? So we're going to talk about business. So let's talk about this. Let me ask y'all, how many Black CEOs are there in this country right now? Any idea?
Very little.
Very little. So let me just show y'all a little something. So here's the history. This is the most newest Black CEO in the country. She's now the CEO of Walgreens. Okay, her name is Roz Brewer. She used to be at guess where? Take a guess. Anybody, take a guess.
Wait, what was the question? I couldn't hear.
Where did Roz used to be the CEO at? Well, she's not the CEO, but she was a chief executive officer. It's the same thing. She was the head of it. She was a CCO, a CEO, chief operating officer. Somebody said CBS? No, it was Starbucks. And look at all the racial issues we have with Starbucks. Wow. Right? So now, these are acting CEOs right now. So you got Roger Ferguson. Roger Ferguson is part of TIA-CREF. That's basically a life insurance company, policy, pensions, everything like our retirement accounts. He manages that. Okay, and he is the CEO. Been the CEO for a few years, but he's retiring next month, so he out the window, right? Y'all know this guy? Y'all specifically should know this. Anybody ever heard of this gentleman?
used to play.
No. That's war class phrase.
Yeah.
But but anybody heard of that company?
I have not.
Now here's something interesting. Guess where that company is located?
That company looks in New Jersey?
Come again?
Because I think I've seen that sign before.
You damn right you saw the sign if you came on campus. It's 5 minutes away. Merck is a pharmaceutical company and they have a headquarters right here in what is that town called? Killingsworth? Killingsworth is right about 5 minutes away, you say, Sonny? 5 minutes away from the school. Big company, pharmaceutical company. Okay? And he's going to be retiring at the end of the year as well.
My
This
bad to
gentleman-
cut you off. I got class
Go.
right now.
Okay.
All right, you have a good day.
So, you too. Come back when you're done. We still going to be on.
Dr. Williams.
Yes.
Me too. I have a class right now too, but I'll come back after.
All right. All right.
Take
So,
care.
anybody know who this gentleman is? Or y'all heard of the company before, right?
Yeah, Lowe's.
Lowe's. All right. I'm just going through this.
Dr. Williams, sorry to cut you off. I gotta go to work. I
All right,
probably
man.
won't be logged back on.
All right. So, I'm showing y'all all these CEOs. So, anybody use MNT Bank? No? Nobody uses that bank? Anybody went shopping at Bath and Beyond? Mary Whitson, she's not the CEO. She was an interim CEO. So I got to give her some credit. Nobody? What about Eli Lilly is a pharmaceutical company, and everybody knows about Boeing jets, right?
Yeah.
Boeing, the company. All right, this was a young engineer who was a community college student, eventually becoming a CEO. All right. And here's some other CEOs of Sears is no longer there. Lloyd Ward. Some Maytag. Maytag is washing dishing company sets and goes and see some of their products and apparel. But this one is the next one is what I want to talk about. Now he is no longer the CEO. He has stepped down. But McDonald's, I'm loving it. And all of a sudden, did y'all know McDonald's was run by a black man?
I did not know that. Didn't see that coming.
So for about he just stepped down 2 years. I think it was a year and a half ago. And then the next CEO came in place out sexual harassment charge. But he wound up, they forced him to leave. And then Darden Restaurants. Do y'all know what Darden Restaurants are? How many of y'all think Olive Garden is popping for their salad? Olive Garden is Darden Restaurants. How many of y'all go to Bahama Breeze?
Yeah.
Bahama Breeze is Darden Restaurants. So, and there's several others. Texas Longhouse. I don't know if y'all been to that, but he was the CEO there as well. Fannie Mae, the student loans and housing loans. At one point, Franklin Raines was the CEO. Merrill Lynch, y'all ever heard of that company before? You ever watch All Stocks and Tapestry? Tapestry owns Coach. Now, this gentleman is no longer the CEO, but he was once the CEO. I'm showing y'all all the CEOs that have ever black CEOs in the United States history. Okay? And then everybody was talking about the black card, the black card, the black card, right? You ever heard that in the rap song? Well, they was getting the black card when the gentleman was running, and it was a black CEO. And he's retiring as well. Okay? So the last 4 people I wanted to share is the automotive, Ronnie O'Neill, Ursula Burns, Brooklyn, New York, where we at? And Xerox, and most of these people have retired. Ronald Williams from Aetna. Y'all know Aetna is the health insurance company. But I'm going to see, is there any sports management people in here?
Nope.
Now, one sports management person. Because I was going to put you to the test right now. So, the last gentleman, sorry. The last, Y'all see it, right? Still? I don't know what just happened. Hmm? Something else comes up on my screen. Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. Here we go. So the last person is Richard Parsons. Richard Parsons was the CEO of Time Warner. Richard Parsons was also the president of basketball operations for the LA Clippers. He took place of the LA Clippers when they had their Donald Sterling had his racist comments, and they were looking for somebody. So he's retired right now, but he's a top executive in this. And y'all know what America Online is. Maybe some of y'all, you might have to ask your parents. That was like the first internet service for like Wi-Fi and everything. You had to plug everything up into an Ethernet, using an Ethernet card. Richard Parsons was the CEO of Time Warner and AOL. All right. So I share this with y'all because we talk about the number one major for Black people is business. In the history of this country, there's only been 19 Black CEOs, male or female. Guess how many in total there have been? Do y'all see that number? Do y'all see that number?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, and that's according to Fortune 500. The first ever person was Clifton Wharton Jr. And Clinton Wharton Jr., he's so historic. This is like a Jesus of back in the 1980s. He was the first college president of a major university. He used to be the president of Morgan State University. Currently, having a high population of Black male CEOs, or CEOs, period, it's only been 6, and that was in 2012. I told y'all already, I showed you most of these people are retired or not in those positions anymore. They have left or something else has happened. Okay? Right now, by the end of the year, there's only going to be 4 left. Out of how many companies? Fortune 500. All right? Think about that. So what does that mean? Well, somebody read this for me.
As much as leading, a Fortune 500 is the holy grail for countless business school students. Young Black entrepreneurs could be the ones building the Fortune 500 companies of tomorrow and beefing up the tally that way.
Let me highlight it again. Young Black entrepreneurs could be the ones building the Fortune 500 companies of tomorrow and beefing the tally up that way. So what is that really saying? What does that mean? What that means is we can just look at this history, man. I'm talking the history of business. You only had 19 Black CEOs in charge. So that's extremely already a problem. And it's showing you that you clearly should not be asking for or looking for a job. You have to create your own. And let that business that you create become that Fortune 500. That's a goal. Okay? So let's start here. Today I'm giving you an emancipation. So who is this gentleman? Anybody?
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. All right. But you, Celine, cheating over here? No, I'm somebody else. Who is this gentleman? Somebody. Take it.
Come on, Daniel. Come on, Celeste. Come on, brothers.
Take it.
Let's get the answer.
Marcus Garvey.
All right, thank you. That's he gave you the answer. So read this for me. Read this for me. What did he say? What did he say? Read what he said.
This race of ours gave civilization, gave art, gave science, and gave literature to the world.
Okay, so what does that mean? I just
And
got
then,
finished telling you. Go ahead.
yeah, he basically like saying like, us as black people, us as people of color, we basically, we contribute to like civilization, we contribute to art, and then we contribute to science. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
you're responsible for mostly everything in the world, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you know that, you definitely know you can create yourself a business, correct?
Yeah.
So let's look at it. This gentleman in 1965, he gave a message. And he gave it specifically for black men, right? Listen to
Yeah.
what he said. Somebody read the first one.
Stop looking for others to help you in which you can help yourself.
Right? Now, you always asking for a job, but at the end of the day, you can create your own job, right? Stop
Yeah.
asking all the time. You don't need to be beggars. Then what he said. Somebody read it.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Get an education, but not an education that leaves us looking to the slave master for a job.
Yep. Don't look for someone for you to become what they was. So we like this. You don't want you don't want to have to be asking people and begging people for positions where you are putting yourself in a position where you are somewhat captive. Okay, you always have to have options. Be knowledgeable. All right, you don't want to be oppressed. Oh, somebody telling you you can't do this, you can't do that. As I told you last week, W. Du Bois said the purpose of your education was for you to be a well-trained person that makes powerful decisions, wise decisions. The next one, what else did he say?
Let us
This is
capture. Oh, sorry.
good.
Let us capture the market or people by producing their needs.
So what is he already saying? He's telling you right there in business, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, what can you do? What can you do? Huh?
Providing them with the things they require and they need.
They need, right? You know, right now they say the average black black buying power is $1.5 trillion. If you create a product, 10% of that, come on, man. Math folks in here, no math majors? But you be on top, right? You be caking somewhere. So listen to the last one. Somebody read that. Daniel, you're doing good, so you can read this.
We cannot forever continue to depend on America to give us a job, send us to school, build our houses, and sell us her food and give nothing in return.
Mm-hmm. You have to be an entrepreneur and create this stuff yourself. Okay, because like I told you last week, your rise is what? Anybody from last week? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's why they don't want to fall. So why would they give you everything? You got to go out and create it yourself. Okay. All right. Read this last one, and then I'm gonna take y'all back to history. Come on.
America was not founded to guarantee the freedom and equality of the black man and woman. And indeed, she is not seeking to grant these privileges to our people today.
Okay. So if y'all got any questions, please let me know. Because what is he talking about right here? What he is talking about is the 3/5 compromise, right? And yeah, the part about the 3/5 compromise, if you read the Constitution, which originally was written, you were not included in it. Okay? So that's why everything you do, you're creating success for yourself. You're changing the game. That's the purpose of getting your education. That's the purpose of majoring whatever you're majoring. Not to be the employee, but you should be thinking about becoming the owner. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Now, I have to read this to you, or you already read it? Because in the last line is where it clearly says, and this is the United States Constitution, original, and revised it after a while. But they said we were black people were 3/5 of a person. Okay. So now let's talk about business. What's this gentleman say about this? Somebody else read that besides Daniel. And does anybody know who he is?
I
Somebody
can
said
read it.
start calling on people. Go ahead, read it. Thank you. Please.
Regardless of the business you're in, you have to learn it.
Exactly. So if you in education, what you got to do?
You gotta learn education.
You in business, what you got to do?
You gotta learn business.
What about art?
You got art.
Yep.
You gotta learn art.
Got to learn it, right? So who is this gentleman? What's his name? Does anybody know this gentleman or have you heard of this gentleman before? Because I'm about to tell y'all some stuff.
No.
No, nobody. But Donahue Pebbles is basically a billionaire. He's a real estate billionaire. Okay? Donahue Pebbles. There's so much I could share, but he tells you how he became a businessman and a real estate executive without even having money to buy a building. He owns Marriott hotels, timeshares across this country. Okay? His main office is in New York, but extremely successful. And he leaves you the blueprint for anybody who's interested in real estate. Where can this book be found? I'm waiting for somebody. Where can this information be found?
The internet, right? You can find anything.
No, I was waiting for you to say the library, man. The library, man. This is all going to continue. I'm going to tell y'all the same things over and over until you memorize it. Okay? Now, I will tell y'all specifically, and it's things that I don't share with people, but I can tell y'all that which this man wrote actually works. I know someone who owns a movie theater, a $22 million movie theater, by following this man's plan. Only thing you got to do is read it. Okay? Black man. So I can be clear, $22 million movie theater with no $22 million. Okay? Learn the business you want to go into. Everybody been here before? Is this close by? Where is it at?
22.
Route 22? Okay, so you've been there before. Y'all know who the CEO was. Lord Hawthorne is his name. And I want y'all to read and understand what he did. And I want y'all to see, because sometimes I'm showing y'all these high CEOs. Yeah, most of the top CEOs went to elite schools. So you're not considering yourself to go to elite school and you're not prepping up yourself, the CEO part may be out because, it's a connection thing. But I want to show y'all somebody who has a successful business throughout this whole entire country. And I want y'all to, I just gave y'all some brief stuff of the story of what he suggested. So somebody read that for me, please.
Growing up in Jamaica, I knew the value of education. I was sure that going black to school was the only way was the only way to achieve professional status. So when I enrolled at Bronx Community College, I fully attended to see it through. Over time, I've learned that while academic certification is not guaranteed for entrepreneurial success, education is vital. That's how you say it? Vital. Okay.
Right? Now, sorry for my typo, but I was excited giving y'all this information. Now, listen again, community college student. Okay? You started off at a community college and took all the accounting courses. You wanted to become an accountant. You also went to the continuing ed office like we have here and learned how to do taxes. And after he learned how to do his taxes, he started charging people for his taxes and created his own business. So he would go to school, he had a regular maintenance job, and then he would do taxes for people on the side. And he developed that money so he can start up opening his first Golden Cross in the Bronx. Now you see Golden Cross on Route 22 in New Jersey, you can go to Connecticut, is there, right? But he said it's not necessarily about the certification, meaning the degree you have. He says the education part. And this is what I want to make clear to y'all, and this is what I'm going to continue to repeat to y'all as y'all go to school here. It's not about the degree. It's about getting the education to make it useful for yourself. Okay? So how do you get started? This is what I want to start off with. I got some questions for y'all to answer. And I want you to write down your story. So here's the first question. I want you to write down about a time or a challenge that you had an event in your childhood. Take some time, write that down. I'll give y'all a minute or two for it. There's 10 questions I'm gonna give you. And this is how you can find out some interest you like or some type of business you should start.
Down is there for that?
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'll give y'all, whenever y'all finish, let me know and then I go to the next question. Or do y'all want me to just put all the questions up in your hands for it? I ain't hear nobody.
Ready for the next one?
All right. Yeah. Here we go. Tell me about someone in your early years who made an impact on you and why. To quote Young Jeezy, and I love it. Just tell me when to go to the next one. And then I'll
We'll go to the
explain
next
why we
one.
did this.
Yeah, you can go to the next one right now.
Okay. Recall a story of your young career. So if y'all have been working, if you did summer youth, anything like that, a significant event you can share often with others. Whatever work experience you have, if you don't have any, just think about that time you did a favor for somebody. Your mother, your grandma wanted you to sweep the yard or something. Something when you, any experience you have had when it comes to work. and it's significant, you were willing to share it with us. All right, go to the next one, or see, y'all got some good stuff.
You can go to.
Is that it, or is there still more?
No, there's more. Tell me
Uh,
about one of the most embarrassing, awkward, or difficult events in your career. So just talk about it. I put down career here because I don't know if you're working or not, but you know, your life, because that's what we're going to talk about. This is an easier way to find some type of business or interest you may have. That's why we do this. Because no matter what, one paycheck is never enough. You hear me? One
yeah.
paycheck is never enough.
Amen to that.
All right.
It gotta be a career, or it just gotta be just in life in general.
You can put it in your life in general. It's not worth it. And I'll share that with y'all. Well, I'm gonna have him come here. I have a dentist, and he's gonna come speak at one of our events. And he is the reason why he's a dentist is because of his embarrassing, awkward experience. You see what I'm saying? So this is why we're doing this. This is the story of you, why you're gonna become that entrepreneur. Go to the next one. Share one of your greatest success. What happened, and why do you remember it? I love that one. Got We'll give a minute for each one so we can stop this part up too. So the next one is share one of your greatest failures. What happened, and why do you remember it? Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. Russian. You want to be mindful of time. Tell me about a moment when you had a difficult decision, had to make a difficult decision, and what you did. Next one. Tell me about a recent event that made you question yourself or a decision you made. I just went through that this week. Should I get the snow blower or not? Okay, the next one is tell me about a person who is heavily influencing you right now. So if anyone would like to share, I'll give you a minute to do that. And then we can share, one or two can share what you have written down so we can discuss it and see what comes out of it. right, so anybody want to share? We just need one or two. Anybody want to share what they have? No, maybe so.
I could share my answer for the first one.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I wrote while I was in elementary school, I would attend an aftercare program until my parents could pick me up, and most of the time I'd be the last kid still trying to complete their homework, as there were certain things I couldn't figure out or make any sense of. So after going through this countless times, I decided to start finding new ways to remember the things talked about in class. And this was through reading and applying it to my own life.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and just to give y'all an example of why y'all did this, so I don't hold, don't take up too much time, and we can go through this presentation. We'll just use that example. What businesses could you have made of that experience?
Through that experience?
Yes, off the top of your head.
Maybe a tutoring program or something.
Okay, one, a tutoring program. Now, the reason why you're also doing this, and I'm asking you to tell stories and reasons why. If you was a CEO, how would you express that? Or you was running an entrepreneur building a business, how would you express that?
Wait, could you repeat that last part? Sorry.
If you were a CEO or running a business or entrepreneur, you were looking for support, funding, how would you express that?
Oh.
By using that same story you just said.
I guess you could say that you could help others who are going through the same problems.
Mm-hmm. And the passion would come out probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody else in the room, when you heard Daniel say that, did he sound passionate about what he was saying?
So.
He felt passionate.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, he had an obstacle and he overcame it, so
I
think he felt passionate.
And there's a business in that. Can he use that business for other students? Daniel ain't the only other person. There's 330 million people in the United States of America. Daniel the only one that had that experience?
No, that's why they made like mathways and stuff, so people could use material, help them, like if they have challenges. You can make like a website from that and like certain things. You could definitely interpret business into that.
So that's
or
why
incorporate.
that's why it's called the story of you, because I want y'all to write this down and look at what you're talking about, who you are. All these things are describing who you are and maybe the atmosphere or the experiences you have had, where you can create a business where somebody else does not have to have those experiences. Okay? So if it has something to do with fashion, you might have been embarrassed that you had some holes in your shoes. You make some soles in your shoes like Kanye did when everybody want to pay for it. You understand what I'm saying? This is how you go create. So for those who say, oh, I don't want to be an entrepreneur or I can't be, this is how you can find it. Because they call your pain your profit. Whatever pain you have suffered in life, you can turn that into a profit. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the next one. So now, take it to the top business school in the country. So this is what they say, right? They say if you're going to be an entrepreneur, these are the questions you have to answer. So the first question is, they must continue new skills and continually ask themselves where they want to go and how they are going to get there. That's the first step. If you say you want to make sneakers, you got to continually ask yourself, am I getting the skills and the information to be able to make those sneakers? And how far do I want to go? Do I want to have my stuff, just on 20, 30 people? Or do I want it to be massive worldwide? That's the first question, okay? The The second question, you must continue to ask yourself what business they want to be in and what capacity would you like it to develop. Okay, so when I say that, there's another way of saying it. Do you want to be a company of one? Or do you want to be a boss of few? Or do you want to be a business of many? So when I say a company of one, what does that really mean?
Your business is it just has to deal with you. Like you're dealing with everything on your own. You don't got no employees in there.
Exactly. So you're basically a consultant or something to that effect, right? If you want to do a business of few, what's a business of a few? A boss of few, sorry.
When you can afford employees.
Exactly.
Not
You
in the
make
beginning.
enough where you want to be able to share your wealth, or you need employees. Maybe you might be in the IT business, right? You might not be the best at creating the program, but you understand IT. You might know networking, the person might know programming, right? Steve Jobs, when he started at Apple, it was the boss of a few, right? It was a few employees. Him and Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs didn't know was not a computer programmer. Steve Wozniak was the one that created the software. Okay. And then, if you want to be a business of many, that's what Lowell Hawthorne, the owner of Golden Press, did. That's having a franchise. Okay, so you have to think about what you want to become or how you want to have your own business. What level? Okay, if you just want to side hustle, that's the business probably of one, a company of one, right? Like Daniel said, you might just want to be a tutor. That's it. So you need to think about that. That's something that you're always constantly doing, because when things start to work out, you want to see how far you want to grow or can grow. Okay? So here's some guidelines. So if you're serious about entrepreneurship, or you want to be able to self-employ yourself in this, what they call gig economy, here's some questions you need to ask yourself. Can y'all see them good enough? Can y'all see them well enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have the options.
All right. So the way it works is, you see what it says, are my goals well defined? If your goals are well defined, your professional or personal aspirations, your business sustainability and the size, and your tolerance of risk. We all know what those terms mean. Do I have to explain it? We have the terms.
Explain the first one, please.
Your personal aspirations is what do you want to become? What do you want to do? What is your goal?
Okay.
All right. So if you want to be like Khan Academy, we all know what Khan Academy is?
Yeah.
You know how Khan Academy started out, right? Khan Academy started out as the company of one. It was just a gentleman teaching his niece, and he didn't have time to meet with her, so he just put it on YouTube and went over the lessons with her.
Oh.
And after a while, she started passing over to her friends, and her friends started telling him, and his company grew. Then it became a business of a few. Then Bill Gates started watching it and said, hey, I'm a franchise this, buddy. We're going to do Khan Academy. Now you got Khan Academy, and it was just for math originally. Now you got English, science, math. You know what I'm saying? Everything under the sun. Okay? So if your answer is yes to those, then you go to the next, right? Do you have the right strategy? Do you have a clear definition of what you're trying to do? Right? The profitability and the potential for growth. Can you really make money out of this? Whatever you're trying to do. How long will it last? And your rate of growth is, right now, it's the same thing like, I'll give you an example. Your rate of, how well your team is doing. So if you got all draft picks in your first year, and you got a basketball team and y'all been losing every year. After a while, the next 5 years, that coach, are y'all becoming winners? Your rate of growth, your winning percentage. Same thing. Okay? And if you say yes to any of those, then you go to your next one. How can you execute the strategy? What resources are going to use? Your organizational infrastructure, which means, are you going to be an online company? Or are you going to have a building? You're going to have your living room? What is it going to be? And then what's going to be your role? These are the steps of becoming an entrepreneur. Anytime those things are not clear, you see on the left-hand side where it says your answer is no, you need to go back and work that wheel again to make sure all of them say yes. That's how you know you're able to go forward in whatever business aspirations you have. Copy?
Roger.
All right. Thank you. So, one thing I want y'all to understand is this, and make it clear as day. We all know chess. Y'all know how to play chess?
Yes.
How many know how to play chess? I got 12 people in here. I hear 2.
Not really.
Not really.
More of a
I know Project Achievement's gonna teach us stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know that, right? You damn sure right
Yeah.
about that. You damn sure right about that. All right. Chess, not checkers. All right. So, all right. What it says is basically a business is just like chess. To be successful, you must participate and think several moves ahead. Okay. Jay-Z once said, I had to throw a Jay-Z line here for Celine. Don't follow me, youngin, follow my moves. Jay-Z play chess all day. Okay. So now I'm gonna give y'all one quick lesson about playing chess, and this comes from Master P. Y'all know who Master P is? Anyone?
Your hip hop references. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to do your homework, man, because this is what I love. This is my passion, so that's why I got so much of it.
Yeah.
Right? Just tell you, I profit off of this. So, y'all know who Master P is? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. So, let me give you a quick story. All right. So, this is a line that he has once said. He said, if you don't know your worth, then you don't know what you are truly capable of accomplishing. And this is extremely important because the story goes like this. When Master P was he started to get notarized. He was going to sign a record deal, right? And he had only $500 to his name. And, he had bills due and stuff like that. And the record company called him up and said, hey, let me fly you out to New York so y'all can sign this record deal. So when they get there, the gentleman, the record executive, offers him $1 million. Okay? So he gets $1 million deal. And when he gets that $1 million deal offered to him, his brother's like, take it. He's like, can I think it over? And he says, let me look and read over the contract. And I want to stop right there. Read over the contract. Most people don't read, and most people sign their life away. Now, since you said hip hop references, I use it in clear example. Meg Thee Stallion, is she upset with how she got jerked? I know who Meg Thee Stallion is, right? Nobody knows who Meg Thee Stallion is.
I know.
Y'all yada all day when you ain't on the Zoom with me. So y'all know who Meg Thee Stallion is.
Yes.
All right. So she was unhappy with her contract because she signed a bad deal. She did not read it. So Master P's brother told him, sign this contract, man. We getting $1 million, right? But Master P started looking at the fine print and he said, yeah, the world is mine. I'm making $1 million, right? But he looked at the contract and you know what it said? It said, you get $1 million now, but they own your name, your rights, everything for 7 years. 7 years. And he was not going to profit after anything. So he was going to get $1 million up front. In 7 years, he would not be able to own his own name that he created himself. So what did Master P do?
Decline.
He declined. And I take an example too. Do y'all know Microsoft Office? You do know Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft is going to buy Facebook for $1 billion. You know what Zuckerberg said?
Nope.
And I'm giving y'all real life examples. Everything I'm saying, you can always fact check it. You know?
Yeah.
Y'all know who Steve Ballmer is?
Steve.
See, y'all too busy watching the players and not watching the owners. Steve Ballmer is the owner of the LA Clippers. Okay? He was the second in command for Microsoft. And Steve Ballmer says to Mark Zuckerberg, I'll give you $1 billion for Facebook. And Zuckerberg was like, you're giving me $1 billion? Same story as Master P. No. It's worth more than that. So did he sell? No. Now how much is Facebook worth? Right? At one point, Zuckerberg was like the richest person in for like a week or so. You understand? Knowing your value, knowing your worth. Make sense? Master P did not sign that deal. And what Master P did, he said, I don't know everything, but I'm going to go give me an education. So he said, who the best lawyer in town? And the best lawyer was Michael Jackson's lawyer at the time. And he had to pay $25,000 to just have a conversation with Michael Jackson's lawyer. And when he had that conversation with Michael Jackson's lawyer, because he went outside, thought outside the box and said, hey, I know I'm worth more than this if they just want to give me $1 million. And he went, and Michael Jackson's lawyer said, this is a bad contract, probably one of the worst I've ever seen, but if you really want ownership, he would tell them to give you a distribute. You just want to use them for distribution. So what Master P had to do was give up 15% of his company to Priority Records. He owned 85% to himself. So if you have $1, you give 15 to your friend, and the 85 cents come back to you. And Master P went on to sell millions of, a few hundred. All that money came directly to him. Okay?
Good morning.
That's entrepreneurship. That's knowing your worth. That's being able to make that decision. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? You got it?
Yeah.
All right. This gentleman, y'all know who these gentlemen are? I had to put them in here, Celine.
Well, of course,
Y'all know
Jay-Z. And
who's the other one?
the other guy, not too sure.
Okay.
Man.
So remember we
His
said a
hip hop
company.
reference.
Yeah, I don't really think of that genre.
That genre is still is genre right now. What are you talking about? You listen to any rock of Shice Bub, Meg the Stallion, because she did eventually go sign in with them. But anyway, this is the company of the boss of Few, right? So Jay-Z and Dame Dash was partners. And listen to what they said. We shouldn't let other people make money off of us. And we shouldn't give free advertising with our lifestyle. What are they talking about? Any idea what they're talking about? I'm speaking foreign, boy. Y'all talking about y'all want to get the bag. I'm showing you how to really get the bag. These people did it already.
I'm gonna say like with that statement shouldn't give free advertising with that lifestyle in terms of like they're already famous or whatever, like wearing somebody else's product, advertising it from them through their lifestyle, and us other people buying it because they see them wearing it.
Edens, you absolutely right. And I'm gonna give you a because your name is Edens Tucson. At the end of the day, kids is out here walking about. Y'all want the Yeezys, right? Y'all want all the ladies want LV bags. Man, make a Tucson bag. And what he stood for. Am I right?
You right.
They cashed out. So one example of this is champagne, right? You know Cristal. You ever heard of Cristal before?
Never.
No, you never heard of Cristal. Well, you shouldn't. You ain't old enough to drink yet, are you?
Old. I'm old. I'm old.
So what happened? Jay-Z said, wait a minute. Cristal stock went up. Stock went up. Matter of fact, if any of y'all have sports management, I'll give y'all an example. When Jay-Z came out with a song, Change Clothes, he said, give me a nice pair of jeans and a button up. Right? Because at that time, everybody was wearing NBA jerseys. After he said that, the whole industry changed. More people started wearing button-up shirts because he knew his worth. He knew that everybody want to be cool. You understand that if y'all take a marketing class here, you should learn how marketers market to specifically Black people because we spend the most in most cases. You should be learning. And I have no problem telling your professors this is what you need to be learning. Okay, so you let me know. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Nowadays, you cannot hear a commercial without what? Kind of beat in the back. Is it a boom bap? It's not a boom bap? You tell me if I'm saying something different. Is it not a boom bap in the background? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. All right. So this is making sense to y'all. You know, we all need clothes and everything, but why do you need to have these certain clothes advertising everything? Do you understand that Steve Jobs said, I'm going to make everybody buy an iPhone? He literally said that. He literally said that. The same thing with Ford
Speak
cars.
into existence.
Yeah, speak it to existence, but you have also been somewhat, mind has been manipulated to do these things. Dude, there's people who buy a new iPhone every year. How much they gonna change the phone? What do you really need the phone for? To call somebody, to text, take a picture?
The branding. You just buy the iPhone because it got an Apple on it. And it's all like intuitive, like your phone work with your laptop with work with your tablet. Like you need all Apple devices for it to work with each other. So he played it smart.
And they have what they call product placement. Do you know what product placement is? There's a reason why the low frills at Walmart. So the Walmart value is, y'all go to Walmart, anybody go to Walmart, get some food or something?
Work at Walmart.
Yes, no?
I work there.
You work at Walmart.
Sometimes.
So tell me where they usually have the great value oatmeal at.
The great value.
In the front of the store?
Yeah, they put it like where everyone could see it, and they put the name brand like they don't really show it as much.
No, I don't think that's true.
No. You know what? I think they put the they place it like in the front of the store, right in the entrance.
Or like the middle aisle. It's called the action alley. Like when you're walking the aisle and you see something in the middle, they put it like right in their faces, basically.
Yes, that's for what the company is paying for. Like I said, shelf placement. But what I'm talking about, I'm just giving you the simple level that if you go into any supermarket, on the bottom shelf is always going to be the so-called, what they used to call no frills or the less value item. So if you was going to get oatmeal from Walmart, they will have Quaker's Oats right in your vision sight, right here. When you look right at the shelf, you turn to the left, you turn to the right, get the Quaker's Oats, right? But on the bottom is the same oatmeal that is called Great Value.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
You say that, but what I want you to do, just because we having this conversation and y'all really understand business, half of that stuff is still made at the same company. Okay?
I agree. You know, I'm gonna make a statement. You know, my friends call me cheap for that. They call me very, very cheap for that. So like,
Mhm.
if I go to the store, I turn my camera on because I'm gonna use the sunglasses I have on
Yeah.
as an example. I
Mhm.
went to the store. I went to store with my friend in New York. So there are two stores. There's the Gucci store and the Louis Vuitton store. One of my friends went inside the Louis Vuitton store, bought her glasses for like $500. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. You just pay all your money. And I went to the store. I got a glasses that look exactly like his, but it's not Louis. But cost me $20, and I keep 480 in my pocket. So if it does the job, if it can do the job, I'm always gonna go for the cheap one. Certain things you don't cheap out on, but like there are things like clothes. Like if it gets the job done, go for it. Like
Yeah. What you
go for
talking
it,
about,
spend your money.
Edens? What you talking about is what they call fast fashion. So a brand company just right now having these vests is the new wave right now, right? So everybody's going to make a vest like this or similar. Okay, that is fast fashion. That's the actual title for what you're talking about. It's the same design, but everybody puts their little spin on it so they can't say they are copyright. Fast
Yeah,
fashion.
I hear you.
Got it? So don't get gassed. All right. So now listen to what Jay-Z said, okay? He said, I consider myself a revolutionary because I am a self-made millionaire in what type of society? Okay. I don't hear nobody saying that.
Racist.
But thank you, thank you. And we all know that. Do I have to go into that too or no? But at the same time, you can overcome these things and you can make it happen. And part of it is by just you. At the end of the day, I go back to this is to conclude with what Marcus Garvey said. You are the creator of a lot of things. Your bloodline is the creator of a lot of things. And you should treat it as such to continue to keep creating. All right? So here's some sources. I don't like to just tell you all this stuff because everything I'm saying to you, you can have to look up, check, and here's more information because I could be here all day talking about business. All right? So here's some resources. This is the first book you should get. Now, anybody know who this gentleman is?
Earl G. Graves.
Okay. Who is he?
Successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, well, he's not successful anymore. He passed away. But guess where this book is at? $1 million question right here. Somebody gonna get an A in their class if they get this book. I'll drive a teacher. Guess where this book is at?
The library. The library.
At the library, that's right. Now, Earl Graves is the founder of Salim took the school, went on a trip to there last year, or was it last year or the year before last? Yeah. He went to Morgan State. Earl Graves has his own building, business building. All right. Earl Graves is the founder of Black Enterprise, which is a magazine that still goes on today. Now, that's the first thing I want to do. That was the next step. All of y'all should be signing up to Black Enterprise right now. So how you do that? You're going to take a minute. You're going to go to your phone and you're going to log in Black Enterprise and sign up to get newsletters. Why are you doing that? Because you need to see people like yourself got all these side hustles going on. There's a girl right now who's 14 years old. Sorry, it's not 14, 16 years old, and earned her master's degree. She got her own teaching business and consulting business. Come on, man. Are y'all sitting around and playing Fortnite, Call of Duty? We can out here do this. And if you don't have the example, this is how you can get the example. People are sharing their stories. Companies they started during COVID. There's right now in Mexico, Black man who has his own yacht company, taking people on yacht trips. COVID happened. He said, I'm gonna just go where my money is valued a little bit more. And I'm gonna start a yacht travel. This can be done. It's what you're willing to do. But you have the questions that I gave you earlier, so you can decide how you want to go about it. So y'all got the Black Enterprise website? Earl Graves made it possible for a lot of people. And if you do wind up leaving here, maybe transferring to a school like Morgan State, they have the companies that can help you start your business. They have small business organization within the school where they can give you not necessarily loans, but they give you investment to start your own. Am I giving y'all information today?
Sure.
All right, we're not done yet.
20.
So the next one, this is the next one. And this is all free. Ink Magazine. Just go type in ink.com. Whole types of conversations. But one thing I bet you're going to notice you're not going to see. Not going to see a lot of people that have the skin pigmentation as you want it. But that's why we have to learn these things so we can sit at the same table. Okay? So those are just two. Next one. Talked about culture. Did anybody know who Steve Stout is? Anybody? Steve Stout is he has his own company called Translation, which is partnership with Jay-Z, which is all the commercials that you see, most of them hip hop commercials, and you have all the entertainers and everything in it, is done by Steve Stout. They had Super Bowl commercials. I don't know if y'all know that having a Super Bowl commercial is like one of the biggest commercials you can have because so many people watched it event. And this just clearly shows. What's the name of the book called? The Tanning of America. Thank you. And clearly shows you the history of how culture and environment that you are in, the outside world is capitalizing off of and not necessarily giving you any credit. But he lays it down for you, specifically hip hop culture. So me and Salim are into stocks. How much is Adidas right now? Adidas is about $200 and something a share. Last year or 2 years ago, it was only at 70 something dollars. And the reason why is because the urban community decided everybody gonna start wearing Adidas track outfits and stuff again. And the price of the company went up. Kanye says, I'm going to Adidas, the price of the company went up. Right? Everybody waiting for their 350s. So y'all got those resources?
Yep.
All right, here's some
And
more.
what you mean 350? You talking about the semi check?
No, I'm talking about the sneakers. Whatever it says. Don't they say 350 already? Come on, stop playing.
Yeah.
I know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
for a
about.
second, I thought you about to send us 50. I was going to say Jesus.
Yo, where my stimmy at? I still didn't receive it.
So I'm sharing some other resources. One, you need to read 50, and I'm giving it to you because these are simple reads, man. Three Kings, and the number one book, I'm definitely going to suggest is the $100 starter. So for those who sitting here like, I can't start my own business, I have no idea, you need to read that book. And matter of fact, you don't even got to read that book. I ain't have time to do that today, but you can just go to YouTube. The whole book, audio book, is on YouTube. You just sit there and listen to it. So there's no excuse. Because despite whatever degree you're going to get, you also going to need some other way of getting money. Because one check is not it. Got it? Got it? I don't hear nobody saying nothing back. I think I'm talking to air and stuff right now.
Yeah.
Good, all good.
I definitely believe in it. Like you can have one job because currently I work at Walmart and then I also do real estate on the side. So
Mm-hmm.
like I never think that one source of income will ever be your answer because you always hear someone complain when they're working a 9 to 5. But when you're working for yourself, like you're the only one you could blame, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one
That's
source of
exactly
income
true.
isn't it?
No, it definitely is not. And if you into real estate, you need to read Jay Morrison's book. And you also definitely need to read, like I just told you, Donahue Pebbles. Donahue Pebbles is worth right now, I think, 800 million net worth income. Book costs $5.
I'll look them up. Thank you.
That's less than a Subway sandwich.
Shoot.
And that's almost less than a bus. I don't know how much the bus in New Jersey costs.
The
How much the
ebook
bus in New
probably
Jersey
free.
costs? You know? So I want
Gotcha.
to conclude with this statement that says business can disappear anytime, but a solid and good education stays with you forever. So this is what I'm talking about. You just got to be knowledgeable at the end of the day and continue to test and try things out. There's plenty of people who have done what you are interested in doing. You just got to read about them. They're leaving you the blueprint to make the correct from their mistakes. And I quoted Russell Simmons started as the first real hip hop CEO, and it took Russell Simmons 20 years to get hip hop to where it was at. It took Jay-Z 10 years because he followed him. And again, the goal is for you to do it in less time. It's the same thing. That's the purpose of having mentors. That's the purpose of having reading and studying those who came before you. All right. I have some principles I wanted to read to y'all, but I can just put them up there, and I want to give y'all a test. Okay. So y'all ready for this test? Just see if you're gonna be an entrepreneur or not. Y'all ready? Yes?
You lost us at test.
Yeah, that's right. To be a successful entrepreneur, do you have to get in debt? True or false?
False.
Yes, you got to get in debt? True or false? Come on, you
False.
tallying it up. False? We got one false. What about everybody else? To be a successful entrepreneur, do you have to get in debt? True or false?
False.
We got two false. So everybody else is saying true?
False.
Y'all sure? Yes. Y'all sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right, all right. Should you have a business partner to be an entrepreneur? True or false?
False.
It depends on the person.
But do you have to have a business partner? True or false?
False.
All right. What else? Come on, I only heard two people. True or false?
These brothers here testing, they just freeze.
Huh?
I said these brothers here tested
The
freeze.
word test got him? I'm just trying to see if you're ready for it. All right. So then, the answer is, of course, you don't have to have a business partner. Now, what I will ask you this: do you have an advantage if you're older in your mid-career and you want to become a business entrepreneur? You know, Wendy's not here today, but I'll give you an example. We had a discussion with Wendy about that. So if we're talking about you having entrepreneurial skills, if you are working, you graduate, you become that engineer, you become that communications director, you have the opportunity to work on the side. And some of this stuff is looking for funding. You can ask your family, your friends. You could, but there's also things that you can use like your 401k for an advancement to start your company or your business. or you would have some money saved because you are in your mid of your career, right? You have some funding coming in. Do you do better if you have an original idea for a business? True or false?
That's false.
Okay, that's false.
It depends too, because you could hop on somebody else's idea, or like
They
you could
do it all
start an
the
idea
time.
and then everybody will else. If you start an idea, everybody else will like hop on your idea. So it's both ways.
Yeah, but it's false. You don't have to have an original idea. So, but you're definitely right. People do it all the time. Just so y'all know, the mouse and everything else Steve Jobs did, that he's not even the creator of all that stuff. The ideas come from a gentleman by the name of Johnny Ive. Go look at Johnny Ive. He's the one who created the iPhone, but Steve Jobs get all the credit. Johnny Ive is working for somebody. You know, someday Johnny Ive, yeah, Steve Jobs gave him carte blanche where he can make any decision on technology he wants. But at the end of the day, you know, and don't get me wrong, some people like working for other people. You know, I got two more questions. No, I got two more. What I have down. All you need is a few years to be in business. That's the easy one. That's true. Oh, here we go. I'll put these questions down. Do you have to be born with entrepreneurial tendencies to be successful? True or false? I know Horace, when he was telling y'all about how he started the barbershop, he told you that was just out of him having bad cuts from his mom. The true or false? I'm hearing crickets, Salim. I think they tired of me, so I'm gonna first up. So last question I'm gonna give is: do you need formal business training?
True.
True or false? Formal business training.
True.
True or false? You need formal business training? True or false? The last thing I want to say thank y'all for listening. And I want to ask if anybody has any questions, and I want some other folks' feedback. Did y'all learn something today?
Yes.
What you learned, man? What you learned?
Other CEOs that I did not know of until now.
Okay. Good. And I definitely want to share this last slide with y'all because next week we have a presenter coming, DeAndre Salters, and he's an entrepreneur, and we're going to be on WebEx, and he's going to talk about the culture of money. Okay, and he's going to have a financial literacy workshop so we can get our money right. Mint Bleak says, but y'all know y'all don't know who Mint Bleak is. Mind right, money right. Ready for real. So, with that said, I do want to. So y'all see this? So y'all should have the flyer. The flyer should be up. Y'all can see it still or no?
Yes.
All right, the flyer should still be up. And we do have an entrepreneur online, Horace, Mr. Horace Jordan. So some of y'all have spoken with him a little bit earlier. He was talking about entrepreneurship, and he owned a barbershop in Somerset. So I also wanted him to share Horace, anything I said was inaccurate, or you want to share some of your experience as far as maybe did you have a business plan when you went in to creating this business, your business?
You're telling me, right? Let me see. No, everything you said was accurate about business and yeah. You have to have a business plan before you start everything, basically. Like if you don't have a business plan, it'll fail automatically. Like most businesses, is like I think like 90% of businesses fail, or like I don't know the exact statistic, but if you don't have a business plan, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything
Yeah.
you said was accurate.
You
Create a
Horace, man?
plan and execute. That's all you gotta do. Execution.
You're absolutely right about that. Execution. So I don't know where Horace is at,
Here we go.
but
You can hear me?
you there? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Now I was just telling them, because you are living proof of this, and I don't want to be the only one dominating the conversation sometimes, but I just like to give the information. So I
Yeah.
wanted you to also share how you started, the barbershop. I mean, you
Right.
told some of us how you started because of your mother, your experience with your mother cutting your hair and
Right.
getting, I guess, embarrassed, like I said in this
Yes.
question.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that lit some fire under you. But what would you say is your toughest challenge?
Yes. I want to say first, thank you, Mr. Clinton Miller, inviting me. So and thank you for everyone for having me here. I always want to give thanks. Thank God for this opportunity. I was very grateful. And so now going into this, yeah, I like what you said. One, great insight and everything you gave us today, man. I was taking notes, and I'm always taking notes. So it was hitting me. Like even though I'm in business and everything, I'm only 5 years in. I always want to be in a learning position. I always want to be in a position to grow. I always try my best to be meek, humble. You know, I don't want to act like I ever got anything. I just want to keep growing. So I'm very grateful. So with that said, yeah, I was embarrassed. I like what you said. You turn pain into profit. And that's exactly what happened. I was in pain with my parents, separating, then they got a divorce. And then they tried to work it after that. It just didn't work. So like I said, my mom took over. She was taking me to the barbershops, getting nice haircuts, but sometimes she just couldn't afford it. So she took the clippers and man, she used to drag me up. I was walking around lopsided fades, real low haircuts. One time my uncle gave me a baldy and I was embarrassed. I was angry. And then like I said, one day I just happened to go in the closet, saw the clippers. My cousin was going through the same experience with his parents. We gave each other haircuts, and from then on, I just kept cutting people. So it seemed like it was about the fault, but I know everything was in God's hands. Thank you, Jesus. So I just took it forward, cutting my friends, cutting my cousins. And now fast forward to I graduate high school, I go to Votech, we get certified, and then now I was in a point where, man, I was struggling, man. I was working 3 jobs, making nothing. I was working at a salon. I was working at the school as a teacher assistant. I was getting $75 a day before taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was bringing home nothing. And then I was trying to cut on the side. On top of that, trying to put money straight in my pocket without getting a percentage taken from me. And it was just a lot. I was mad at every payday. I was mad because I wasn't getting anything. And then on top of that, we had 2 cars. One of the cars broke down, so we were down to 1 car. And I remember I was stressed out, and my wife asked me like, what's your next step? I said, babe, honestly, my next step is management, but the salon I'm at, they don't have a position for that, and they're struggling. So after this, my next step is ownership. I didn't have anything really to prepare for that because I was in a tough spot. So I just was praying. I said, God, you gotta help me. I'm out here taking my wife to work, dropping her off, dropping my son off at mom's to watch him, picking her back up, going back. It was just stressful. And then man, I told the babe, nothing happens by April. No, nothing happens by May. As far as owning a shop, I go get a career and I cut on the side. You know, man, the second to the last week of April, I was driving down the street, Hamilton Street in Somerset, and I saw a for rent sign. I called, connect with the realtor. One spot didn't work out, and I just gave up after that. And but prior to this, I was checking spots all over North Brunswick, all around my neighboring town. And once we landed on Somerset, I said I gave up because the realtor called. First, he said yes, you can have this spot. Called him back. He called me back, and he said no. I'm sorry, I can't do the second floor. We can't put a sink. So I had a dream somebody was creating space for me in an office building. In every office building I went to, they kept telling me no because of the zoning. But in Somerset, they allowed zoning is different than North Brunswick. And they say, yes, you can have a shop in the office building. So in the dream, somebody was creating space for me in the office building. So I said, babe, this lined up with the dream. And God gave me a scripture that I had that I was holding on to. I was holding on to this word. And man, I came back home. They told me yes. And all the money that I needed, all the equipment, man, everything happened within those 2 weeks. You know, and before that, I like what one of the gentlemen said. I missed his name, but he mentioned how you have to have a business plan. I didn't have my credit was shot. Like I went through it. I was going through it. I ran up my credit, savings, everything. People. I was in a rough place. But one thing I had was the word, and then I had a business plan. And I said, whenever I do get my shop, my business plan will be ready. So my business plan was ready. So when they told me yes, I hit the ground running. I was ready. I knew what I needed to do for the most part. On top of that, I had met a barbering mentor that helped me. Before that, I had my friend Lamont. I worked with him, and he helped guide me to where I'm at now. Every question I asked, and I asked him over and over. Still to this day, I ask him the same questions until it clicks. So I just give thanks to people that were before me that helped pave the way for me, that were patient with me. My wife, my family, my parents, my elders, even people that are employees now. Like, I definitely didn't do this by myself. I can never take credit for that. People say, man, you got, no. I know what I went through. I know the struggle that I've gone through. Even now, this struggles now. But one thing I said, I like what one of the gentlemen said here, you got to have a business plan. I like the 10 questions you asked us before, the childhood experiences. What thing was significant that was embarrassing?
What is the greatest, accomplishment or failure? Those things you go through add up to where we are now. So I'm just very grateful. And so to hit that point, yeah, that would be my answer to what we're going through now as far as the business plan. And as far as business, in addition to that, make sure all the paperwork is straight. Everybody here is certified. They have a license. They have prior experience. And if they didn't, I will give them, an opportunity, because somebody gave me an opportunity. Like I said, I was chipping people up, but people gave me an opportunity to be where I am now. So I really try my best to have everything in order. Another one. I know the title of this, they say, do you know where I can find a job? And then it mentioned under that, the explanation was saying what services are overlooked in a community. And it's real simple. One service that's overlooked in a community is actual business of just serving. People have lost the art of just serving without looking for payment. If you can have a servant's attitude, helping the lady next door with her groceries, shoveling your neighbor's car out, the decency to pick up trash when you walk by it on the ground. If you can serve your elders, serve your family, serve your wife, serve your dad, serve your children, if anyone has children here, if we can find and adapt the art of just serving, doors will open up and opportunities will come to you, and you will learn from those opportunities of simple.
One thing.
Yes.
No, I was gonna say one thing that
I have a quick question for. I have a
Go.
quick question for Horace Glenn.
Sure.
Hey, where's your barbershop located? I think I missed that part if you mention it.
Oh yes, it's on Hamilton Street in Somerset, Franklin. Down the street, it's like roughly 5 miles away from Rutgers. It's not even 5 miles away from Rutgers, downtown New Brunswick. So we're in Somerset, the next town over. Well, we're done. I have Mr. Williams or Mr. Miller, but Clayton Miller, we can share my information, and we can definitely, touch bases after this and everything. Like we could definitely stay in touch. So I would love to see us black men flourish in any businesses that we do, any services we want to offer in this world to our community. So, I'm down to help out as much as I can.
Yeah, I know Hamilton because I know some brothers. They like some FOI. They have a mosque over in New Brunswick. So yeah, I've been
Oh
over.
yeah, nice. Yep.
Yes, I've been over there a couple of times. So I know a lot of brothers out there, man. Definitely gonna try to patronize and because Mr. Miller said I know you probably got a barber already, but I'm like, nah, man, it's no loyalty. There's no loyalty.
I'm looking for a barber. I'm looking for a barber.
No loyalty like that. So,
We here four barbers
definitely,
here, so we
definitely.
I
ready.
haven't cut my hair in like 3 months. I need a barber.
Oh, we ready, man. Yeah,
and plus you're very close to my job. I work around Somerset, so
I'll be right here. Yep.
You're very close to my job.
Yeah. I thought Mr. Miller's here too.
Put your address in the chat so I can copy it.
Yeah, do you see what the chat is, Brother Horace, right?
Let me see. This is my first time using this platform.
If you're on your phone, it's a little different. You should see like a little dot, like a 3-dot prompt.
Oh, 3 dots, right?
And it should show like messaging on it.
Let me see. Reclaim share content. No. Chat with everyone. Bam. See it.
Yep. There it is.
So I'll put 812.
One thing y'all were talking. Horace was talking about with service, and I have this in the slide too.
Yeah.
And I have to mention about Mr. Salim over here. He has said something that it makes me laugh all the time, and it's so true. And I'm glad that he knows it, and I want to share it with y'all. But he has said one time, and we're talking about service, but like you said, that's where the business is at. When they're talking about jobs being lost and things like that, they really talking about service jobs. When they talk about the economy and jobs, they're not really talking about corporate executive jobs. They're talking about service 9-to-5 jobs, right? But Salim also said that, because Salim is a silent millionaire, y'all folks, if y'all don't know that. He just keeps it. He just, he loves the culture, and he loves, helping people out. But at the end of the day, people are lazy. This is what Salim said. And he said, remember this, Salim? People are lazy. And because they are lazy, there's always going to be money available. And how? It's because people don't want to do things. And the greatest example of that is when it snowed.
Yeah.
Who's town? Do you really think people? Do you really think people?
I agree 110%. Yo, it is crazy. So, there's an app out here. If anybody trying to make some extra money on the side, there's an app called Ship. So what you do, you go grocery shopping for people who's lazy, and then, they give you like $20 to go pick up some stuff for them. You can go pick up toilet paper, whatever they order online. And you just drop it off at their house. Yo, it's there's money out here. Like if you have a car, you can make some money.
So necessarily, sometimes it's not even like you have to have this specialty craft. You just have to have the will to do it. I look at it all the time. If you look at those who are doing their lawns and stuff like that, I've always found it funny when they hiring somebody to do their lawn. Only thing you got to do is get a lawnmower, but you paying somebody $200 to $300 a month to come every week to cut your grass.
That's all you need.
You just need a lawnmower yourself, but you spend $300 to $500 on it and don't have to go back to it.
But the best part that I loved about what our brother Horace said was when he talked about service. And I know we all hit that, but that's the biggest piece to everything. And when I think about service, I think about wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. At times I feel like when you really care about people, when you really care about their life, with their lifestyle, and want to do right by them, that's energy that's going to be transformed to not only you but them, into their family and stuff like that. So, Brother Horace, I know when you in the barber scene, you watching these brothers you cutting somebody's hair, you looking at every angle. Even when a person gives you back the mirror and says, yeah, that's a good cut, you still looking, making sure you did everything right, making sure that everything, because you care about their how they gonna look once they leave out of here.
That's true.
So that's the whole thing about service, man. Actually caring about these people, caring about what you're giving them, and understanding that they choosing you over hundreds of thousands of people that they can actually go to that may be a little cheaper, maybe a little more convenient. So service is such a big piece, and that's how I treat this job where I'm at right now in terms of
Yes.
servicing the students, because I understand that they can go to another advisor, they can go to another person, but if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, they don't have to go to another advisor. If I'm doing what I'm supposed
Right.
to do, I want them to make sure that, like, hey, this brother went above and beyond for me. This brother went above and beyond to make sure that I was good. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right. Yep.
service is such a great thing that's going to make you successful, because if you treat people how you want to be treated, then they're always going to come back, no matter who else comes on a block. You're always going to be the most convenient. So I really appreciate that service component that you did add to that.
Yeah. I like what you said, because you said when you fully serve someone, you go above and beyond, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, they said, they can go. They're not going to want to go to someone else. Now, if they choose to, that's their decision. But when you really put your all into something, even like we charge our prices a little higher than some shops on the street, and if not, we were the same. And there's people that get a cut for $5 less, $10 less down the street, and there's some that come in and say, "Yo, y'all expensive," and I'm like, "The price is the price." Well, like with one of the slides said, you gotta know, Master P, you gotta know your value. You know, so a lot of people are lazy because they don't want to. They are intimidated to charge what they want to charge because they don't put out the service they know they need to put out first.
Come on.
You know, it happens in relationships. You know, you see a woman is like, "Yo, she's too high maintenance," so they settle for another woman, right? So same thing. You know, they don't want to step their game up.
Crickets, that's you just lighten them up. Yes, and
Stop
me,
settling. You know, hey, I was there. I was like, you know what? Now, shoot, my wife, I'm still trying to step my game up. Like, she comes to the shop now, she be like, we can fix this, you can fix that, you can fix that. You know, I love the challenge though. You know, so I don't want to do anything halfway. I really do try my best to give the best service I can, possible in every aspect of my life. If I'm cooking eggs for my son, I want them eggs to be good. You know, if I'm cleaning the tub when I'm bathing my kids, I want that tub to be clean. Like you said, do unto others, you want done unto you. That's the golden rule. Man, if we follow the golden rule, especially in business as black men, man, our shop is very diverse. We got Indians, Africans, white, black, you name it, all ages. We got our youngest barber is 24, our oldest is 80. I'm 35, and we got Lamont is 48, and Gracie is 30, around 34, 33, 34. And you got, and all everybody that work here is minorities, but our clientele is very diverse, all ages, all economic status, different positions. We got owners, people from, and we treat everybody the same. I don't care if somebody tip or if you don't tip, you're gonna get the best haircut possible. We don't look for tip. You know, I hate it when I used to work at the shop. They was like, man, so and so only gave me $1 tip. You better be thankful for that dollar. They ain't have to come. They could have went. They could have went. They could have done it themselves. You know how many people became barbers since this pandemic? They've been cutting themselves at home. At the same time, these people came back to us, and they still coming. There's people here now. I just went to another room, and wow, it's the service we put out there. And like I said, no matter who comes to our shop, we really try our best to give them the best of us, no matter what we're going through in our personal lives. And that's another point we can hit. A lot of people bring issues to work. I'm going through stuff right now as we're talking. But I can't bring that to work. Man, woe is me. Now, if I got a break, I go to the bathroom and cry, wash my face, come back. You know what I'm saying? Why? I want to offer the best service, so who might have sits in my chair, I'm in service to you. Right? You sit in my chair at this moment, you're my boss. I'm a servant to you. And people get it twisted. They come into business as a boss and they want to be served. Ask anybody in here. I'm sweeping up their hair when I get a minute. I don't wait for somebody to sweep up my hair. I clean their stations. I'm out their rooms. I'm a servant first. And then in turn, when you have a great team, I like you said, you have a boss over a few or a boss over many, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you're a boss over a few or a boss over many, the type of person you are going to be the type of people you attract and the type of people you're going to lead. And eventually, if you're a person of service, you're a person that always adding value, you will have those people on your team. You will have a great team. I'd rather have 5 great people in the shop than 10 whack and 10 great. Give me the 5. That's all I want. I'd rather pay me, both Mr. Williams, and 2 of y'all guys, 5 of us, on a strong 16, bam, versus 12 people on the team and 4 of them suck. Nah, I'd rather have a strong team, So not to belabor the point, but definitely, I like what you said, customer service, man. You give them your all as much as you can, and I'm telling you, man, I want to encourage everybody, whatever you decide to do, I'm telling you, it will be blessed. I used to wash cars. And I forgot to mention that when I was in elementary school, I was making money. I was giving money to my aunts and my uncles. It was a service like that. Then I was a boss of one. I learned that from my dad. I like cleaning. My mom taught me how to clean. I don't hire nobody to clean the shop. Look, we in one of the rooms right now. I don't know if you can see, but we in one of the rooms right now. This room is spotless. I don't hire nobody to clean. I used to work maintenance when I was in high school. They taught us how to fix toilets and paint and spackle and do floors. So any work that need to get done, we do it first. If I need to hire somebody because of a permit, if it's too much for me, I hire somebody. But everything you do, I want to say this too. You're in community college right now, and I know it's probably boring sometimes because you're at home, right?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
One, people don't like school. Sometimes I'm gonna put it out there. There's gonna be times you're gonna feel like you want to quit, you want to give up, because it's very frustrating, and you say like, what's the point? Right? You ever heard the story of the bamboo tree? Somebody told me how the bamboo tree grows. They say you plant the seed, right? The first year you water that seed, nothing sprouts. The second year, you keep every day you water that seed, nothing comes up. The third year, same thing. The fourth year comes, you water that seed, no sprout. But when that 5th year comes, and you constantly watering and you feeding and you believing in the seed, you still have faith and hope that this seed will germinate. That 5th year, that seed sprouts into a tree. That 5th year. So I want to encourage you. Right now, you're in that stage where sometimes you might not see any growth. You might not see any positive results. It just seems like you're in a mundane rehearsal stage, like before a stage play, and you're constantly, practicing your lines. Trust me, when it's game time, you're going to be ready. This is your preparation time. This is your time to build your foundation. When you have a strong foundation, when the wind come and the rain come, you're going to stand. This economy right now, you're going to stand. As black men, we're going to stand. I'm living proof.
That's beautiful.
So I could keep going on and on. I get excited about this stuff.
No, this is perfect because I don't want to belabor the point any further.
Right.
I just wanted to also say that, this is just a great conversation. Just to and I just want our brothers to know, like, whatever demeaning job y'all think y'all working at, where y'all feel like it's useless, always pull something from that job, because every job that you're doing is gonna build you into the career that you get into, your final career.
100% true.
I was cleaning toilets, bro, at my job, bro, and I hated it. Cleaning toilets, clean the bathroom. Now I clean my house better than everybody. Like,
there you go.
I'm killer at cleaning. I know exactly where to clean, how to clean, what washes to use, because they have me clean that damn bathroom so much. You understand? So, and anything that you're doing in your life right now that you feel like is demeaning or it's not worth it, try to use it into your professional life. And I promise you, even now to me, like, I don't like certain things a certain way on my desk. I like my desk being clean. I like things being a certain way. I was taught that when I was working in the hotel. I was taught to say hi to people, build relationships, speak to people. Now I do it at my job, and now this lady today called me the mayor. She said, "You the mayor? Everybody know who you are. Everybody know your name." I'm like, because I like to talk to people. I learned from every time like somebody that looked like they was going to the hotel or being a customer at the hotel, I say hi to them. I talk to them. I find out who they are, what they're doing. So now it's just a habit that when someone walk past, I just start talking to them, getting a feel for them. So everything that I've learned from all these other jobs that didn't pay that much or I felt like was demeaning, actually created the person I am today to where I'm at today. So for all y'all guys on this call that stayed on this call, y'all actually got some gems. You whatever jobs you're at, if it's customer service, working at Walmart, all those different things, it's going to create different tools in your arsenal to make y'all successful moving forward. You know, so. But yeah.
Thanks everybody for being here. I mean, it's 3:10. We usually go to 3 o'clock. So if anybody has any last remarks or anything, please share. And then we can see y'all the next week at the event of the Culture of Destiny. One?
I think everybody's done.
All right. Horace, hopefully we'll see you soon. And
we definitely will see you soon, brother Horace. You take care, brother.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. I want to say again, thank you again. And if you ever, even on the side, you want to talk or be with the youth, with the gentlemen, I'm down, man, because I want to see people succeed, and I know everyone will. You guys are here. You guys, I can tell by the way these gentlemen talk and express themselves that you guys already have an influence on them. This is my first Zoom call with you guys, and I already see the professionalism that they have. I see the confidence that they have, and and the boldness that they have, just on how they express themselves. So I just want to say thank you to y'all again. Y'all doing an amazing job, and I'm thankful for you guys having this program, man. I really believe in you guys already. So thank you. God bless. Thank you, Mr. Clinton, too.
Take care. Thank you,
God bless.
Brother Horace, to be on this call.
Yeah. Take care.
God bless. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care.